The Grixis Tinker deck from NYC has not been doing so well online. I'm here to show you it's not a scam. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a vintage challenge on this lovely Saturday after NYSE. The big news from NYC, in my opinion, very biased of course, was that the breakout deck was this Grixis Tinker deck that me and the Value Before Victory guys put together as a way to break NYSE. And I think we did a great job. We had all 5 members in the top 32, 60+% win rate with the deck, and it did exactly what we were looking for. The problem is, doing exactly what we were looking for in the NYSE meta is a bit different than doing what we needed to do online right now. Why is that? Well, the NYSE meta, while Sphere Shops heavy, was very blue heavy. And for whatever reason, with the ebbing and flowing of vintage metagames, right now, the Magic Online meta is extremely non-blue heavy. Over the last few weeks, the most played decks have been Raker, Sphere Shops, Initiative, Dredge, all of these non-blue decks. And so a lot of the innovations that we put into our deck to beat the NYSE meta are less powerful online. The key one being that Hexing Squelcher as a way to break open blue mirrors is a lot less applicable when I think there were 2 frog players, 2 blue-black Lurrus frog players in the metagame from last night's challenge or something like that. So we put all this, this effort here to make and break the blue mirrors just to online not see as many blue mirrors. However, this is a blue Tinker deck versus non-blue decks on Magic Online. You're still going to gain a lot of power by being in the Tinker shell. I watched DFA play his challenge last night. He went 4-0 start and then took 2 losses and lost in top 8. 2 of those losses being to Mono White and 1 being to Lurrus PO, but definitely a winnable match. So I'm still thinking that this, deck should do pretty well on Magic Online. And to be fair, most of the leagues I played in preparation for NYSE, I played with my NYSE build. So like I had a 70% win rate in leagues over 80, 90 matches with a build that I think is maybe not as strong against the things people are playing on Magic Online right now. So in comparison to Wednesday night's Vintage League video, I just put the Dismember back in the sideboard because I wanted to give myself a fighting chance against Mono White. In general, I like this deck and this build versus other blue decks. I think it is good against Sphere Shops. A lot of that is based on the fact that you have Island, you have lots of counter spells, you have a lot of Lorien reveals to get you there. You end up with a decent amount of artifact targeted removal. I did like it a lot better when I had the second Hull Breacher, but you also end up with a bunch of Twister Breacher kills, and Portal is a little bit weird against Sphere Shops. It's not really for Sphere Shops, but you bring it in against Sphere Shops because they frequently have these Patchwork Automaton starts that you really do kind of want to tinker a Portal against a lot of the time. What don't you want to see when you play this deck? You don't really want to see Dredge. With the Ley Lines, but no Sphinx, your Dredge matchup is not great. You don't really want to see Dredge. You can beat Dredge, and you can even beat Dredge in game 1 because you are doing a powerful thing. But if Dredge has any kind of relatively good hand, it's going to be very hard. You don't want to see Mono White. This deck is not built to beat Mono White. This deck is very bad, in my opinion, against Mono White. The way I dealt with the Mono White matchup was by putting the Portal in the sideboard originally. I think the Portal actually makes you quite, you have good game plans against Mono White. The problem is they just have so many things that are annoying for you. You really don't want to see. The decks you absolutely want to see are Jewel Shops and Raker Shops. This deck is fantastic against Raker and decent against Jewel. That is mainly on the back of the Hull Breacher plan. The Hull Breacher plan is quite nice for that. What else? Like I said, all the blue decks are good. I think the Oath of Druids matchup is also quite good. So if you're thinking you're going to see a bunch of Oath, so you can see how this would be good in the NYSE metagame that was blue heavy with lots of Oath, not a lot of Mono White, not a lot of Dredge. But online, not so much the case. So I still think this deck is great, even though it's performing very, very poorly by the general public here on Magic Online. So let's see if we can prove them wrong in today's Vintage Challenge. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Here we go, round one Vintage Challenge with our Grixis Tinker deck. Our opponent is the trophy leader, if I recall correctly, and they've been playing a variety of different decks, including, I think, Stifle Knot yesterday. Though I don't believe they are on Stifle Knot again, considering they are not revealing Aluris. My hand includes Counter Magic, Basic Islands, and some stock ups that I can't cast yet, so I'm in. I am in. See what Wall E's got for me here. Raker? Patchwork Automaton. Not able to be countered by either of my spells. Wish I had a Lorien revealed right now. Make my life a lot better. So it's Sphere Shops. I see. Alright, well. I'll definitely counter that, but I am going to need to hit a Mana Source this turn that makes mana, so not the tap land. Would I have countered Patchwork if I could have countered Patchwork? I don't think so, because I'm so low on counter magic, but gonna need to hit a Mana Source here. That's a Yogwell. That is the opposite of a Mana Source. Looks like we're gonna die, which is not great. Don't think I'm ever allowed to put back my hand, but my hand did require me drawing mana. I have a lot of mana in my deck, but because now I'm not gonna be able to cast a spell for the rest of the game, so man, we have been running not well on Magic Online in the last few rounds. The Wednesday League was abysmal. I like this matchup in general. We put a little bit of work in this matchup, though I did cut the second Hercules from the board, which is helpful. But if you can't cast spells, you can't cast spells. So I'm gonna need help. Game. That's a Vexing Bauble. Okay, I'm gonna die. My bad. I guess, to be fair, we were not beating any deck with this hand if we were not drawing mana. Does that mean we were supposed to put our hand back? Doesn't really feel like we should put our hand back. Feels like we should just draw mana, right? Oh, wow. Ancient Tomb to make Saga tokens. Yeah. All right. Well, attempts were made, and we died. Yeah, I've not been doing the winning here. We're gonna bring in a Portal and a Braid, and we're gonna bring in Hercules Recall and Hold Reacher, maybe. And maybe Long Goodbye, but maybe not. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna go keep all my mana. I'm gonna get rid of my Flusterstorms, my Probe, my Misstep, my Brainstorm. Maybe well, I don't really need Hexing Squelcher in this matchup at all, so maybe I keep Brainstorm. Do I want any more removal spells? I really don't. Oh yeah, we don't need Vexing Bauble either, so I guess maybe we'll take a Long Goodbye or a Dismember. That's true. That is a true. I like having creatures, and I like being able to have another like more consistent AB combo. Obviously, Flow State Stock Up is like not at its best versus this matchup, but it's really not that bad because you have 2 basic islands and 4 Lorien reveals and a pile of mana. So like your deck produces mana really well. It's just that game it didn't, and sometimes that's how it works. I'm gonna go back to the Brainstorm away. This actually makes the Flow States really bad. Maybe I'll just cut 1 Flow State. Stock Up is still by far the best of the 2 blue draw spells, pseudo draw spells, I should say. I don't know. It's possible that I was just supposed to mulligan my opening hand, right? But between like Misstep and Negation, you should like kind of have I don't know, some good coverage to get you to the spot you need to be, but maybe this hand is not great. It's not great. This is why I don't like to play multiple breachers in the main for the most part. But it has mana and it has forces against Workshop. Can I really be putting this one away? I feel like you're not allowed to, but I mean, you could because you're so powerful. You can find like a Tinker opener, but I don't know. I'm really against the idea of like mulliganing hands that have lands and or lands and forces against Workshop, especially if my opponent's gonna mulligan here. Like they're kind of incentivized to mulligan a little bit to try to find something that can compete on the draw. Yeah, I don't know. I could definitely see mulligan in this. I've been thinking recently that maybe I am being too conservative with my mulligans. I think I'm just so wasteland traumatized that I can't grasp some mulligans that I used to be able to mulligan all the time with the power of London, you know? So 5-card keep from my opponent. Mox. Ancient Tomb. And then what? Nettle Cyst. I'm gonna let that one go. I think on a mold of 5, that one is very unthreatening. I am still gonna go for the Surveil land here, though, to try to find us our extra Moxen to start playing the game. Or that. That is certainly acceptable. What the hell am I getting with that, though? A Mana Crypt? An Ancestral Recall? A Lotus? A Lotus and then just go for Twister? Oh, I can't go for Twister because I got a Lotus. What is this supposed to get is my question. I don't actually know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm keeping this and casting it. I just don't know what it's supposed to get. I think it's supposed to be Mox mana, but I don't know for sure. Like the things, like if I had a Mox in my hand, I could get Tinker, but I don't have that. If I get Wastelanded, I guess I can't be put off Ancestral because I have forces. So it's probably just Ancestral. I just think on average, this Ancestral doesn't look that good here, but I think this is probably the safest line we can take, which is got a lot of merits, so. Technically, we could always Ancestral my opponent with the Breacher in play to get 6 mana. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Mox, Ancient Tomb. Let's see. 3 mana. Crucible of Worlds. That is far too scary to allow to resolve, even if it's a blank, I think. Could be wrong, but... Ghost Quarter. All right. Hopefully they Ghost Quarter me. Oh, man. I was about to say, like, hopefully they Ghost Quarter me so I can just Ancestral right now. I have 2 basic islands in my deck. How do we feel about a Null Rod resolving here? This is their last card. It seems like a reasonable thing to just force and play through. I think so. 3/3. Ghost Quarter. I have an Ancestral. Surely this is a spot that I'm happy to be playing. I already used Demonic Tutor, so I'm going to go off of the black mana and draw 3. Flow State, which is turned on. Because I had just used my Ancestral Force in DT. Love that. Okay, so I have a removal spell. I have a Mystical, which is basically really going for Tinker here, but I don't have a Mox. I don't know that I need a removal spell. I want to take stock up. But I also kind of think I should just like take Mystical as a blue card. Right now, tinkering for a portal is quite bad. But we're still at a point where we could tinker for Citadel with 11 life. The card they drew is it Patchwork Automaton? It's a Patchwork, okay. All right, so I'm going to 10. I don't think there's like a great... I mean, we could Mystical for a removal spell. We could Mystical for an Abrade on Niddlecist. But then I'm not stocking up. So I don't really like that much either. Oh, they're just going to hit my Black Source. Okay. So I can now Mystical. But again, I still can't stock up. I guess I could Mystical for a chain and chain the thing, but then they just attach the Patchwork later. But I could, if I wanted to, like, get a removal spell this turn, I could get chain and stock up. Just get Tinker, but I don't have an artifact. I also don't even know if Tinker's winning from this spot. I'm actually pretty worried. I guess they don't really have haste creatures, though. Like, I think a Citadel at 10 here is not ideal. I kind of like the idea of getting chain and then just... I guess at that point they'll just equip, though. Because they'll know I got chain, so it doesn't really help me. I mean, it's the best card in my deck, right? I have a Yogwill, but I don't really have a good Yogwill right now because I don't have enough mana. I don't really feel like Brainstorm is a worthwhile use here. Like, I do still want the cards that I have besides Academy, I guess. Where, like, Tinker is definitely the best card I have left in my deck. The thing is, the Yogwill, like, I'm not going to use it on this. I mean, I could use it on the turn following. I wish I could, like, Time Walk and stock up this turn or something. But none of that really works. There's always the chance that, like, stock up does not find me things that matter as well. I don't know. I don't know that this is an easy choice. Or even a choice I'm supposed to have made. I think I want to take the high value play and just cast stock up. Yeah, I can get a braid. I absolutely can. I'm just looking for like something more, you know? You're okay, there's a Ruby and a Hercules. Ruby, I love Ruby here. So, yeah, I mean, this is just Ruby Hercules. So we can buy turn and then Tinker. It's pretty good. I think I'm supposed to get... If I get Wastelanded, does it matter? Not really. I guess I can just play Academy. So the question is... I think they'll play their spell pre-combat because of Patchwork. So what is their spell? Stonecoil? Okay. So I could take 6. I could take 6 and then just Tinker a Portal. Or take 7, Tinker a Portal, wipe their board, and then start bringing back Patchwork. But that's not even that good because none of these cards really come back in our way. In our way, I can bounce all of their spells in combat, in which case they go, I don't know, Mox, Automaton, and then I just Tinker a Citadel at 10. And then on their next turn, they could hit me for as many. I mean, they can hit me for a lot, so I still will need a removal spell. I just, like, don't know that portaling is very good here when I don't even answer the Nettle Cyst, and I can only bring back the Patchwork. Like, is that really what I want to be doing? I don't know. I'm gonna bounce them. All right, so they're gonna play Mox, Patchwork out. So like it's still like I'm still, if they hit a mana source, I'm still threatening to get killed by like a Nettle Cyst if I tinker for a Citadel, right? Stock up. I could stock up first and see where that gets me. It's probably like I can make a bunch of mana back anyways. Okay. I just bounce this patchwork. How much does that cost? If I play a Soul Ring, I have 4 mana, so I can't pay for ward and do it. I could bounce my Ruby and sack my island. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm still just supposed to take Soul Ring Chain. I could sack 2 lands, bounce these 2 spells. No, but then I can only play if I do this. I think we just cast Tinker now. Because now I can chain the... I could chain the... Oh, I guess I could just negate the Nettle Cyst. So, yeah, it's probably fine. Yacht should be winning, right? That's got to be winning. Oh, I think you're, like, pretty good into Sphere Shops. All right, Yagwell. Twister. I'm not interested in twistering. I have a Mystical Tutor. I have a Tinker. I have a DT. But I don't have a lot of different kinds of mana. I think I'm going to start with an Ancestral here. And then I'll probably Mystical a Time Walk. Unless there's something that is like... I don't have a Sapphire. Yeah, I mean, the blue-white shell is much better against Sphere Shops. Sure. You're playing 4 portable holes. Like, that's sure. But, like, the blue-white shell can't beat blue decks. So, they're built to beat different things. That's how Magic decks work. I do not have 9 life. Now I have a DT, though. So, I think I might have Vault Key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I DT, it's down to 4. And then if I tinker, it's down to 1, so I'm short. What if I tinker for a blue source? What if I just tinker for Black Lotus? Does that help me? It means I can cast a bunch more spells. I could tinker for a Black Lotus and then DT for Twister, maybe. I could maybe just get there with my chain. No, I can't get there with my chain because I don't have an additional blue mana to cast my Tinker. I can only DT, and chain does not make me extra blue mana, so that doesn't work. I think if I just go DT for Hull Breacher, Mystical for Time Walk, Hull Breacher Twister, that should be good enough. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to go Jet, DT, Hull Breacher, Mystical, Time Walk, cast Time Walk, go to my next turn. I don't think I'm playing this Mana Crypt out. Oh, definitely play Saga off the top. Definitely play a Braid off the top. Yeah, that should do it. Breacher. I don't want to tap that. I'm gonna get a bunch of mana. Twister. I have Tinker. I have Stock Up. They have 14 life. I guess it's just pile of flow states then. I don't have an instant at the moment. Not needing a braid. I don't know. I'm just casting spells at this point. Oh, there we go. All right, that gets me there. Key and Tinker. All right. And that's not going to take very long. I have a Construct. I can also activate Bazaar. I think maybe attacking with Construct is actually faster than activating Bazaar here. I could be wrong, though. This feels faster than me. Okay, activating Citadel, sorry. All right, so it's not bad. Kind of a weak hand, but opponent mulled a 5, and we were able to answer directly the things that they had going on, so it worked out pretty well. Yeah, I have one Hull Breacher main and 2 Hull Breachers in the board, and I boarded all 3 in so I could have more ABs that win. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we're trying to do, so let's just resubmit. Yeah, there were definitely a bunch of lines that won from there, but that felt like the path of least resistance. Okay, we have a Force and an Ancestral, certainly a keep. Not the best rest of my hand, but surely within 4 draws we'll find ways to push forward here. That's not good. That's not good either. Can't force that, though. Too risky. We need to be able to force a Sphere or a Trinisphere or a Thorn, something like that. It's a good 7 on the play, though, from the opponent. We'll see what we can do. We're going to have a hard time, though. This is quite strong against what we have. I mean, right now, it's not strong against what we have, but after our Ancestral draws us 3 mucks, and it will be. All right, blue mana Sage Trinisphere. I'm so good. I'm so smart. I think there's like very little chance we're getting to a Twister combo in this game. Maybe I'm wrong. This just feels like too much, you know? I think I'm just gonna pitch the Twister. Talent Gates, interesting. I mean, that means there's probably no follow-up play, so that's good. I mean, my opponent can never not keep Lotus, Trinisphere, Chalice, so... I drew Citadel. That's less than ideal. I can't play any zeros, so no reason to cast on this side. Oh, I boarded Squelcher out, so no Squelcher. Sounds like you're not boarding the same as me, Arkin. That's fine. That doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, those are decent. Kind of wish I kept my Twister now, but... Time Walk, that's great. Now my flow states are online. Oh, yeah. This is good. I wish I kept my Twister. Twister would have been nice here. I guess I can't activate if there's a null rod in place, so maybe not. Do I want a Mystical for anything? No, I just want to cast Flow State and find lands. Thundering Falls Tinker? Seems fine. I think I'd rather have I can't cast Tinker until I find like a Soul Ring though, or I remove the Chalice, which I can definitely do. So this Mystical could get Hercules Recall at any point too. I definitely want to hit my land drop though. I was kind of hoping for a black one, but we have lots of other things in our deck, so let's do that. Oh, a Braid. I'll take one of those. No force right now though, so we're a little exposed. I think I'm gonna, if nothing happens to me this turn, I think I'm gonna cast Flow State to try to find a land. Sphere. Oh, Construct. That's fine. Oh, Wasteland. That's not fine. Okay. I mean, we're not being pressured, so I'm just gonna cast Flow State and try to find like Land Force or Land. I found Force. It's really bad for me if my opponent has another Wasteland, but I think I would rather turn some of these dead cards into counter spells, so I could take Force Mox. No, I think I'm taking Force, and then just losing out on... I don't think I need a Mystical at this point either, so I think I just lose out on Mystical and on Citadel. We'll save. I'm not getting like super threatened here. Still can't activate Fair. Here comes a spell. Nettle Cyst. We're going to counter that for tempo here. This is going to pitch the whole Breacher because I got rid of the Twister anyways, so I don't think I want a whole Breacher. All right. So we do... That Wasteland was really good, though, because it stops us from casting stock up. Okay, here we go. We're not going to abrade anything right now. We are just going to stock up while we have the right mana. And beautiful. How much of these cards do I want? I think I just want fetch stock up. I guess I'll take Misty. Okay. And then, I don't know, we're well on our way here. We just have to choose how we can win. Patchwork. Yep, that's fine. 14. Now we can just cast another stock up. Tolarian, Hercules, Sapphire. We already lost our Citadel. Yogwill. We do have AB Volt Key, theoretically. But the timing is a little weird. I think I just take Tolarian Sapphire. And we're going to abrade the Chalice soon. I guess I could take Yogwill Sapphire. And then... It's like really hard for me to get a profitable Yogwill, though. Even with... Well, maybe with Ancestral Time Walk, I just need to keep hitting land drops. I still have a Force. I have a DT. I mean, I could take Hercules. I just don't have, like, the base artifact mana. Maybe I do. Maybe if I just go Demonic. So what if I take, like, Hercules Yogwill, and then I go Hercules my opponent, DT for a Lotus, Lotus Yogwill, Ancestral Time Walk? Maybe that's just the way. Maybe that is the way. We could even get another land if we wanted to. Because that'll give me a huge boost, and it'll give me a Time Walk turn to do something that I want to do. Unless I have to force something. That is Crucible Wasteland. We certainly can't let that resolve, so I'm going to lose out on my Lorien, but I don't know that that's a huge deal, because I do have a land in my yard I could bring back with Yogwill anyways. Okay, I'm at 9. Let's draw naturally. Saga Gaming. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my plan of Hercule's my opponent, DT for Lotus, Lotus Yogwill, land Ancestral Time Walk with a Saga in play, and then go from there, and maybe we'll go for Vault Key or something. Seems like that's a pretty normal way of going about this, but maybe there's like a better way. Is there a better way? I don't know. This seems fine. I have like a braids and stuff. All right. So I will Hercules recall my opponent. I will DT Lotus. I'm always playing Saga here. I gotta play a little faster though. Black, Yogwill, Lotus, Blue, Ancestral. Maybe there's even like more deterministic line from here, but I'm not seeing it, so I'm just gonna play it as it is. Oh, I can go Time Walk, and then I can go Mystical with my last mana. Seems fine. I don't have Sphinx. Long Goodbye, Chain of Vapor, Braid, Brainstorm, Flow State, Force, Daka. I guess Vamp is pretty good, but I don't really need Vamp because I have Tinker already, so I just like can take another Braid or something. Seems fine. Yeah, I mean, we're playing the more powerful deck. As long as we don't get locked out of spells, we're good. I think the key point in this game was making sure you didn't force the Chalice and instead force the Trinisphere, which you didn't know about. Patchwork is fine. See if they play a spell that we don't know about. All we need to do is abrade the Null Rod, so... Or we can even negate the Null Rod for that matter. Don't care about Chalice. It's on 0, right? Yeah. Okay, Caracas. So I can just negate the Null Rod. Yeah, I'm about to take Volkey turns, so... I don't know that matters. Do I need... Yeah, this is fine. Key. Tinker. I guess this is maybe being a little greedy. I gotta play like a little bit fast. Oh, wait, I have no ways to win besides Portal. Okay, I made a mistake. I might lose this game because of time. See if my opponent concedes. I think I actually have to Portal my opponent because I didn't make a second creature here. I'm gonna have to play fast. I'm not gonna look at chat. I don't I have a Hull Breacher in my deck, right? I have a Hull Breacher. I might have a Hull Breacher. I guess I'll Vamp. I have the ability to Vamp. Okay, I have a Hull Breacher. That's good enough. I can do that in time. It just took a lot of time with like a kind of a hard series of Tinker stuff. But this is fine. We're gonna be okay. Ooh. Save. Wait, what? I can't save targets on it? I thought I should be able to save targets. I'm not worried about it. Should be totally fine. Yeah, my opponent has said GG's. They see the writing on the wall. Okay. Yeah. Tinka. I feel like throughout that match I made my life harder than it needed to be, but sometimes that's a lot of times that's round 1 for me. All right, welcome to round 2 of our vintage challenge here, up against Gusty, who was playing Doomsday 21 days ago. That's a long time, but if they are on Doomsday, our hand is quite reasonable, so don't really mind keeping a Moxen Ancestral hand. So, ooh, are we getting Ancestral on our upkeep? Am I not afraid of snipers? It's not that I'm not afraid of snipers. It's that I can't be bothered by snipers. I've been streaming for 7 years. I just take my L and I lose some percentage of time because my opponent looks at my hand, you know? How is the Doomsday matchup? Haven't played a lot of the Doomsday matchup, but we do have an opposition agent in the sideboard, and Hexing Squelcher is unbelievably good in the Doomsday matchup, so. Lunch, I made hot Italian sausage sandwiches. Some provolone. Mystical Tutor. That's allowed. I assume that's just getting Ancestral Recall, right? So. Yeah, so basically, Hexing Squelcher changes everything, is how I've been putting it in my videos. I assume they're going to Ancestral now, but we'll see. If not, we can build out our blue mana and have more options here, so. Okay. I'm going to not cast the key because I want to have the ability to, like, maybe pay for a daze or a fluster. So what about this upkeep here? How does it go for me if I Ancestral now? Can run into problems with their fluster storms and stuff. But I feel like it's time, right? They just have force. Okay. Force pitching chain, 3 cards left in hand. One of them is Ancestral. So now if I actually should have fetched first, so I made a mistake here. Because now they can, like, win the whole stack before I fetch, I guess. So that was a mistake on my part. I apologize. I should have started this sequence by fetching. Is it fine? So if I fetch and they Ancestral and I misstep and they fluster the stack, I still end up with a fluster on their Ancestral. So I guess it's fine. I just, like, lose out on my, like, best case scenario. So if I fluster now and they fluster back, I guess I'm just, like, not very happy regardless, right? Well, I missed up their Ancestral. And then they'd have to fluster after that, fluster my whole thing. But then my fetch, I guess my fetch doesn't resolve. Wow, I really fucked this up, huh? All right, I think I'll just take this win, this 2-for-1, and keep moving on. Yeah, it's my fault. I just didn't think about getting my spell forced, so. I mean, now we get to hold on to a fetch land for our brainstorm, so not that bad. They missed their land drop. Fetch. Stock up. I really don't want to get my stock up fluster stormed. I don't really want this key either. I think I'm just gonna wait, and then on their turn, I'm gonna answer brainstorm. Because I'm getting the advantage by waiting here. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. I want all of my blue cards. I don't want my key. But if I put away my Pearl and then I have to fetch for a Flusterstorm, I don't want this Tolarian. So I guess I need to keep the Pearl and still try not to fetch. So, kind of weird. Okay. So here I'm going to draw my Academy, and then I'm going to fetch, play my Pearl, and cast Stock Up. So turn on Flow State, and hopefully that will just gain me an incredible advantage. We'll see. Underground Sea, Mox Pearl, Tolarian, Stock Up. Oh, Squelcher has got to be the absolute nuts here. Should I just go Squelcher Vamp and then Vamp for Tinker and win? Should I go... I kind of want to find a Force. I guess I could go Squelcher. It's not that good. The problem is if I play Squelcher, I have to use this land. If I want to keep Vamp, it's not great for me. My flow state is turned on, though, so I could just go, like, Squelcher Lotus. I kind of want to be able to end the game on the next turn. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to try Squelcher Lotus. But I want to cast Flow State. I don't know. That could be wrong. But this lets me go Squelcher, Flow State, and I still have these two spells. If I can find blue card Force on this, I should be in a great spot. Or even just like Hardcast Negation is probably good. They're probably going to... Oh, they're not even going to Ancestral in Response. Interesting. I mean, that's kind of... So, pardon more, that's kind of what the Maharu Jetluris PO list does, right? It plays Squelcher as a way to, like, win a counter war, because it's not really trying to combo kill you. It's fine. I just think that Squelcher's not as good. Squelcher's not as good if you're not, like, doing a powerful proactive thing with it, in my opinion. Because your opponent can always play their own Squelcher. So unfortunately, I did not hit any action spells off of this flow state, and I am immediately punished for my hubris, which is great. Which is wonderful. Okay, well, I am actually in a bad spot, I think. The good news is my opponent can't, like, Doomsday without a Lotus or a Dark Ritual, so this Mental Misstep should buy me a lot of time. They're consulting. I mean, I don't think that's a problem. Like, what are they consulting for? I don't know. I think that's fine. They consulted for Dark Ritual, and they lost one Oracle, Black Lotus. Okay. That's not bad for me, and I can just counter the Dark Ritual, so... I'm just gonna Mental Misstep this. And they're gonna Brainstorm. Okay. No Lotus anymore now, though, so they're gonna need another Dark Ritual. Unfortunately, like I said, I kept Lotus here and was hoping Flow State would draw me into action, and the Flow State didn't draw me into action, so I don't actually have any action right now, which is not good by any means. Well, the downside of letting Ritual resolve is this. The other downside is, like, if I have to fluster Doomsday, then I don't have fluster for recall and stuff, but all right, well, my opponent is put in a harder spot here, but I certainly am in trouble. I wish I had just taken the Vamp, and I could have just gone for Tinker on the next turn with Squelcher, but I got too greedy, I guess. If I had just taken the Vamp, I would have been able to Tinker, probably would have been good enough. I just wanted to, like, use my flow state and find, like, a counter spell and an action spell, but that's asking for a lot. My opponent does not have very many cards left in their deck either. I don't know. Weird game. I think I played badly, though. I mean, I have 3 stock ups, 3 flow states, DT, Tinker. I have all these cards left in my deck still, but I'm just not very good at the game, so I'm not going to draw those cards. Okay, my opponent just went to end step again. I don't know what that means. I think they just F6 through their thing by accident. Okay, that's good for us. One more draw. Can I please have something that helps me? Like, a force is even fine now because I have a Squelcher. Yeah, they get to Ancestral Recall because I can't Flusterstorm this. Probe. Vexing Bauble. I don't know that that card matters at all. Can they Doomsday at 2 life? I guess so. Can they Doomsday at 4 life? They go to 2, and then they have... I mean, they have Duress, Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. They don't really have a draw spell, though. So... I mean, I guess I'm supposed to go Bauble Crack, because this Bauble does not do anything, right? Now I need, like, an action spell. Force is, like, not going to do it, right? Well, maybe it's enough. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I played this game really badly, and I'm kind of upset about it. But we have to move on. They only have... oh, they have another Underground Sea in their hand. So they can just go Counterspell, Counterspell. What if I make them pay 2 here? Or I guess they just won't pay 2. Yeah, I don't know. This looks bad. Oh, wait. Thoughtseize puts them to 2. They can't cast Thoughtseize. Right? Because then they'll go to 1 and they don't have a draw spell. And they'll die. So I fucked up. I needed to force this. Because now they can pay. God, I'm so bad at this game today. This was not correct. I was just supposed to force this. Oh, man. They still can't win, though. Because if they Dark Ritual and they go to 2, they die. So this is fine. It's fine. I still think it's wrong, but it's fine. Because they if they pay 2, then they can't go Dark Ritual Doomsday because they'll die to Squelcher. Squelcher's so good against them. It's actually really funny. They have to go Dark Ritual Doomsday now and then break into a pile with Flow State, but they can't even Flow State into Lotus. So I think they're just dead. I think their Necro cards did not draw them a win, basically. I played this game atrociously. Really, really bad. They're going to cast Flow State. Yeah, so I should just force this. Yeah, I played this really bad. I don't deserve to win this game, but that's okay. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So let's focus. Let's regroup here. I have Oppo Agent and I have 3 Hold Breachers. My deck is great. Actually, my deck might be just nice against Doomsday. My deck might just be great against Doomsday, actually. I have 2 Squelcher, 6 Forces, 2 Flusterstorm, 3 Hold Breachers, Opposition Agent, Pyroblast. Yeah, my deck might just be lit against Doomsday, actually. We can take out Island, and we can take out Mystical, and we can take out Chain if we don't think anything bad will happen to us. We can take out... I think I like keeping Twister Breacher in. Take out Alorian Revealed, and we can take out... I like Vamp, actually, a lot in these Blue Mirrors, because you can Vamp for Squelcher, so they actually kind of have to counter Vamp. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what my last card here is, though. I kind of want all these other cards. Because I do want Probe, and I do want Misstep, which is not always the case. I want all my draw spells. I don't know if I've ever cut a stock up. That card is broken in half. I would cut a flow state before I cut a stock up. I don't really love Bobble against them, but it's not bad against them. It might just be a flow state, right? It could be Vamp, I guess. Could it be Emerald? Not really. Kind of need to hit our mana sources. Just trim a flow state, I guess. I'm not really sure. I do not know the answer. Okay, so we're up against Doomsday. I have a Saga. I mean, it's not the best hand, but it's a playable hand for sure. The fact that I can't get the turn 1 Volk is quite concerning, but I do have a Volk off of Lorien, technically. I have a power play with Tinker. It seems fine. I guess they know my whole hand. That seems pretty good for them. Cycle Street Wraith. Fetch. Pass. I wonder if I'm not even going to try to construct. No, I can probably just construct later. I can just get the red source this next turn here. Hopefully I don't die. I could just die. Not really happy about this spot. Just gonna bait that I have a Flusterstorm. Try to keep them a little bit more cautious. Okay, so they brainstormed and didn't have a fetch here. They have a dig. They have a flow state. It's pretty good. I definitely don't have a Flusterstorm. I'd probably have flustered one of these spells, so I guess breaking up your brainstorm with a flow state is a thing you can theoretically do here. Uh-huh. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. They are kicking my ass in this game. Blue. Delve. Another flow state. Okay. I'm getting buried. And then a delve. And then a Dark Ritual Doomsday. They know I have Force, so... But they also know that I have Pyroblast coming online next turn, so... They are kind of incentivized to move forward with the game a little bit. I mean, if they have an end-step Ancestral, it's pretty good, too. Hexing Squelcher. That seems like a good card here. Yeah, this card's not balanced. Oh my god. Well, I shouldn't be at risk of dying now, I hope. Oh, man. Is this going to be a 2-0 Hexing Squelcher solos the game? All right, Demonic Consultation. Let's see what happens here. He went for Doomsday and lost 1 Oracle. There's Misdirection. Misdirection would work. There is an Op Agent and a Shieldred. Holy moly. Okay, I need to put the Chain of Vapor back in my deck. Oh my lord. There's an Op Agent and a Shieldred in the sideboard. My opponent has 7 cards left in their deck. All right, they're just dead. Yeah, do be like that. Okay, I definitely should have kept the Chain of Vapor in my deck. That's for sure. But Hexing Squelcher is a Hexing Squelcher, so... I guess my opponent could have gone Duress, take my Force, kill me. I think there's a lot of ways I die from here. But Squelcher does limit the ways I die in a pretty significant way, where they can't like resolve a Doomsday. Yeah, maybe. We didn't play against a super amount of Doomsday in testing, so I don't know. Let's go see. Matt published a sideboard guide that he vaguely used. I don't exactly board the same way as Matt, but it's close enough. So let's see if there's a Doomsday in here. Here's a Doomsday on this column here. So Matt took out Brainstorm, Chain of Vapor, Gataxium Probe, Island, Lorien revealed to bring in... Oh, he brought in a Braid for Null Rod. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of that. I guess it's kind of hard for me to win if I get Null Rodded then. I kind of forgot about that. Hold Breachers and Pyroblasts. I feel like I brought in another card that wasn't Hold Breacher Pyro. I brought in the Op Agent, but that's not in this sideboard guide. Okay, yeah, maybe I made a mistake though. Like maybe I'm just supposed to be bringing in a Braid. I don't want to bring in a Braid though. I think I would keep the Chain in. That's what I would do. Keep the Chain in. It gives me an out to Op Agent, or not really Op Agent, but it gives me an out to Shieldred and Null Run. So I think I would keep the Chain in, and yeah, I took out Mystical Tutor. I guess I kind of like Probe though. I kind of like Probe. I don't know. Hard to say. Okay. All right. Round 3, 2-0. We're up against Hazuhiro, who has been playing a lot of Raker Online to a lot of success. Actually wrote a really nice like guide note page. Is this hand acceptable against Raker Shops? That is a hard question to answer. Is this Ancestral Recall hand acceptable against Raker Shops? It has 2 dead draws in it. It has 2 stock-ups that are not castable. It has no forces. It has a chain and ancestral. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. I'm going to mulligan Island Ancestral. Yeah. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to. I mulligan this ancestral hand. This hand is better. Not bad. So, what cards am I keeping here? I have to keep Hold Breacher, Force, Jet, Lorien, Vamp, probably. It's probably just Mystical then. I feel like Time Walk is better than Mystical, even if I pitch it. But maybe I want to pitch it to Force almost every time, so I should just get rid of the Time Walk. Or maybe I can just get rid of the Vamp. Have both blue cards to pitch. Because I can't really Vamp for Twister, because I need to hit a mana source for Hold Breacher. But I do have an open draw to start the turn. And I guess, but Vamp can get me a mana source if I want. Wow. I think I'm going to get rid of the Vamp so that I can pitch the Twister to Force, and I can maybe Time Walk if I hit a mana source, so I can play a turn 1 Hold Breacher. I think that'll give me more options. I could also Mystical for Ancestral if I want to, so there's some options here. Wasteland, yeah, this is a player who plays the Wasteland Raker deck. Wasteland Key, 6-card hand, go. Hold Breacher might not be good if they're just going Volt Key on us. Tapped land. Okay, that's definitely better than no land. So See what our top card is, I guess. But we're probably cycling Lorien Revealed, so it doesn't matter much. I'll certainly leave it as an option, but I'm pretty sure we're always cycling, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, I guess it gets wastelanded, but I think that's fine. Like, if the game lasts longer, that's probably good for us. Oh, they're not even going to go for it. Okay, it's just a time vault. It's a Grim Monolith. I might force this. My opponent is on Academy, Wasteland, Key. So if I cycle for a land, I force this pitching Time Walk, I have a Hull Breacher, and if I draw a land on my turn or a Moxen, I can Mystical Wheel. How do I lose? I lose to Time Vault. But I feel like that's a reasonable thing to be risking on. Oh, wait. No, I can't do that because I need to pitch something to force. Oh, I just pitched the Time Walk to force. Might be a bad play. I don't know. I have a stock up on top of my library. Yeah, it needs to go. I don't think I am playing around a second waste. Perfect draw. Perfect draw. No, I don't think that line is bad, Ape, but I'm trying to do something a little bit more powerful because I'm worried about the power of Raker and what it can do if I leave it too long. Workshop. Ring? Lodestone. Shit, man. Ah, damn. We were so close, but we got... Opponent found a workshop that I don't think they had before, or they would have used it last turn. This Lodestone Golem out of Raker has been really good. So I guess we're just getting Ancestral. I think we're just getting Ancestral then. No, we're Ancestraling ourselves to find a way out of this mess. Because I do think we're in a bit of a mess. Those are great cards, so... Well, if we can live, we'll be in a good spot. I think we're going to try to live 2 turns, make constructs, and go Vault Key, though. Hopefully we have enough room to do that. Hull Breacher should provide us some room against, like, both the Raker top kill and the One Ring. But we are still super dead to just the CRK Vault Key. I could tinker for a Citadel, but then I have to pay 1 every spell, and I'm not really sure that's interesting for me. I'm definitely taking this to the face. This Hull Breacher is much more important than 5 life, and like I said, we're going to have constructs soon, so... As long as we don't get into key range, we should be fine. It's a lot of stuff. I get to spin and look for top, though, so... That's a lot of mana. Can't attack, because this can untap. Just need to live 1 turn. Just need to live 1 turn. I don't even have to play out Mana Crypt, right? Okay, I think I'm just going to pass. I think I'm just going to go for the Vault Key here. Even if I have to force a Time Vault here, I can still make 2 constructs and play a normal game, so I think it's okay. They did shuffle with, or not shuffle with their top. They used their top, so what do they have for us? Tezzeret. What can Tezzeret get them? That doesn't really matter, right? It just resolves. I guess I might have gotten bobble problemed here because I need enough mana to tinker and time vault here. So I think I actually had to play Mana Crypt out. That I did not consider. Shit. Might have to wait one more turn. Might have to make 2 constructs and wait. My opponent might just go to try to get mana to go unblockable 3 attacks. Well, this taxes me 1 here, so I'm currently 1 short, right? I fucked up. I should have played the Mana Crypt out. They got Mana Vault because they want to do like untaps and stuff, which makes sense. So I think we'll be fine then. I think they're just going to go unblockable for 3 attacks is their plan. Oh, they have some other plan here. I don't know what this is. Layering Flesh Raker. That doesn't matter. Okay. Hullbreacher is really good into the current metagame. It's very odd because the blue decks aren't drawing cards, but it's very good into the non-blue decks, which is so odd to say. Or I should say into the shops decks, which is even odder to say, because Jewel is pseudo blue deck for sure. All right. I mean, this Hullbreacher saved us from Sensei's top, so okay. Hullbreacher gets us there. That's good. Like I said, I like this matchup. It's a bit one of the weirder ones because they are playing Lodestone, Patchwork, and Wasteland. They're playing a very different version of Raker than traditional Raker. But the cards that are all good against them are still good against them. Hullbreacher, Hurkyl's Recall, and Abrade being good against every version of Raker. And then I also like to bring in Portal and Longaby when they're more creature-oriented. Their version of Raker is better against us than classical Raker. Agreed. That's because Wasteland's a broken card. Probe can go, Missteps can stay, Brainstorm can go, Flusterstorms can go, Vexing Bauble can go, Vexing Squelcher is going to stay for Vexing Bauble. I might trim on some negations. I don't know what else am I trimming on. I kind of need to keep in like Lorien and the basic island because of the Wastelands. So I actually have to find some room for some other cards here that I want. Don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. Okay, I need to come up with 2 extra cards to cut because I want to include Portal Longaby and I don't want to cut Lorien Island. What do I do? Flow State, Negation. I feel like Flow State, Negation makes the most sense to me. But I don't know. Because this version, like I said, it's different. This version is... How much time do I have? 30 seconds? This version has 5 Wasteland effects, 2 Talon Gates, 3 Crawlers. Is Squelcher good? Yes, I think so. I just said that. It's yes, but they have 5 baubles in their deck. They have the most baubles of any deck in all of Vintage. It is almost an extremely common play pattern for them is to get a bauble. Am I wrong? If you want to cut down to 1, I think that's fine. But I would never cut all of them in this matchup. They have 5 baubles. They have 6 baubles if you count Chalice. So I feel like people are not following the the guide, because it feels like people are not boarding the way I would expect them to board. So here we have our double basic island if we want it, which is really nice against Wasteland. Though I don't know if I want to get rid of another blue card. I have a Volk, so Talon Gates of 1 of 2. Raker. What am I forcing with? If I force with Lorien Revealed and stock up, I'm kind of incentivized to hit another land. Yeah, I mean, I think the second island's one of the best changes we made in the whole deck, so I just don't want to get rid of a stock up. Is that like, is it crazy if I want to like pitch the Lorien because I don't want to get rid of a stock up? I feel like I want 2 stock ups. All right, I'm gonna try pitching a stock up so I can get my second basic island. Yeah, but like, do I want my stock up to having to find mana? Like, is that what I want to be doing with my stock up though? You know? I'm gonna kind of hold this Volcanic for an Abrade, probably. Immediately draw another Lorien. Yeah. See, like, this stock up actually found no mana. So I think we'll take... Jesus Christ, what do we take? Time Vault's Hold Breacher, I guess? Should have to live for 1 turn here. Okay, Time Vault Hold Breacher it is. Stock up is so lit. This stock up is so different than the stock ups from my Wednesday night stream. Does anyone remember the Wednesday night stream where we stocked up twice and found 10 mana sources? Basic island, Flesh Raker. You have double top? Kill me? Oh man, we're gonna die anyways. That's sad. We forced a Raker and they still ended up with Raker double top kill me? Ugh. No, wait, they're thinking. We can't be dead. We can't be dead. They're thinking. If we were dead, they wouldn't be thinking. Yeah. Fortunately, we would have loved to have a force off of that. Oh, well, they're drawing anyways, though. 2 mana. 3 mana. Oh, maybe they have a ring. Nothing. They can't have anything here, right? Okay. Raker, no problem. No bad matchups, by the way. All right. I guess we're chilling. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think my deck is cracked. I think this deck is so good. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be searching for here. I could probably search for like a Saga or something. Dismember. That's mine. That's my whole reacher. What are we vamping for? Let's go! We've put an end to... Welcome back to round 4 of this Vintage Challenge. We are 3-0 paired up against Sphere Shops. I have no mana. Mulligan. I have... Man, I'm 1 mana short of Tinkering. This is a DT Ancestral hand, so this is fine. If this hand had a land, we would just DT for a Tinker. Even if it bricked, we still had negation. Oh, this is not an Ancestral hand. Shit, because we don't have blue mana. I had to mulligan this too? No. I'm so unlucky. I guess we're mulliganing again. This does kind of show you like how close you can be to just like having a 5 or 4 card hand that wins. This is like, if I have a blue land here, this is a 4 card hand that turn 1 tinkers. So that is the power of mulliganing. I want to keep this hand too. Can I keep this hand? There's literally no way, right? I would have to DT for a blue source, which doesn't seem very reasonable here. Even if I DT for a blue source, then time walk. Like I can't even cast stock ups if I draw them, and I can't have flow state turned on until I use negation. Like it's just not good, right? Damn, this stinks. This makes me sad. Can't do anything. Okay. Would I keep this on the draw? That's a great question. That is a great question because that is super risky, right? Against Sphere Shops. I might, though. I might keep this on the draw if I was against known Sphere Shops. I mean, I have to mulligan this hand, so I'm going to 5. That... Jesus, I can't... I just cannot have a keepable hand, huh? All right. Is there any world where I just keep this and try to probe into a blue source? It's, like, not very good. I don't even think probe into a blue source is, like, that good here. Even if I hit, which I'm not likely to hit, it's not even that good. Is it better than a 4-card hand? I feel like it's not better than a 4-card hand. If I had a force in this hand instead of a mystical, then maybe? Yeah, but I can still hit Ancestral and Tinker, right? So I feel like taking a non-functional hand on like a... What is this? This is a 13 out of 40 something to hit. Like, it's not very good. Or like Alluring Revealed is not really hitting. Like I guess Alluring Revealed is hitting because if I keep Mystical, I can Mystical for a Tinker theoretically. So I'm 13, 14, 15. I'm 15 of 53. It's so bad. I think I'm just gonna go to 4 and see if I can get lucky. Yeah, I mean this hand's a lot better. I mean, not a lot better. It's still short of casting the Lorien Revealed, but... I mean, it's certainly better, right? What is my best sequence of cards here? Is it like... Do I even Academy? Like... I think I'm just gonna bin the Lorien and just keep this, and then try to find a card that gets out of it, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's not good. It is not good. It's a 4-card hand, but I think we just do this and try to draw into action. I don't know. Like, I mean, I was definitely supposed to mulligan my first couple hands, so sometimes that's magic. I think this gives me the best shot of having outs. It gives me a base of mana and a powerful secondary play. I don't think so, because I want to theoretically like be able to play a spell on the next turn, right? Like, I want to be able to play a land this turn so that next turn I can play Academy and I can play a stock up through a sphere. I can play a Lorien if there's no sphere. I don't want my Academy to be exposed to Wasteland. So, like, oh, you just mean cycle the Lorien to get the island. Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, it's definitely better for flow state. True, true. That's definitely true. Because there's nothing, I'm not holding up anything. I'm not buying Luris. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can keep Lorien instead of Island and then cycle it to get Island. This does mean that I have an extra Lorien in my deck, but it's on the bottom, so it's probably not very useful there, so. Yeah. Yeah. Where's opponent at? They're probably waiting for me to mull down to 4. Yeah, I should probably try to do some like editing on this section of the video, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not even sure that I have top decks. Like, it really depends on what my opponent does, right? Like, if my opponent plays enough hate pieces on turn 1, I might not even have top decks. Like, if they play a Null Rod and a Sphere, I can't really cast anything. All right. We're in it to win it. I do agree with Senpai, though, that I should have kept Lorien revealed and cycled it so I could have a sorcery in my library or in my graveyard. Workshop. And I can play through a Trinisphere. Maybe play a Trinisphere. I don't know if I want them to play a Trinisphere. I'm gonna watch my words here. Sphere. Okay. All right. I can cast spells right now if I draw them. Tinker? Flooded Strand. Or Polluted Delta. Oh, I can shuffle that Lorien back into my deck, so that's kind of good. And I get to Surveil land. That's kind of good. Wasteland. Another Sphere. 3-drop. Nettle Cyst. Scrawly Crawly? Bally Crawly Scrawling Ballies? Wally? No, we already played against Wally. Can't be Wally. Another sphere of resistance. That could be bad. I don't know that I'm supposed to fetch my surveil land now. I can cast a stock up if I draw it. But maybe having 2 basics in play is better. But then I can maybe not have my academy die. I don't know. I don't think any of this ends well for me, but I do need to find something to do something, right? So I have a lot of cards I don't want to draw. That one doesn't really help me right now. I don't know that I want to draw that. Am I getting wastelanded? I'm not? That's nice. I'm still dead. I'm trying, chat. I'm doing my best with my 4-card hand. My opponent has more cards in hand right now than I started with. They could cast a Golos here. Yep, looks like that's what's happening. All right. Are they going Saga Gaming, or are they going Caracas to replay, or what are they doing? Probably Saga Gaming. All right, we have an opportunity here, chat. We have an opportunity. It's Inventor's Fair. Yeah, for an all-round or something, probably. Or I guess Crucible. They probably just get Crucible. They can get the mana. All right, come on, game. Help. Fucking hell, man. All right. Hopefully they don't have Tolarian Academy, buy Crucible, get Crucible, cast Crucible. That would be bad. And then if we get one more Mox, we can activate our own Golos. We just gotta steal Golos. And then we can't cast the spells off of it because of the Sphere of Resistance. Nothing works. Let's draw Tinker. I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. I just don't have it in me. He's not built like that. Things are bad. Things are bad. What are they doing? Are they playing a Stonecoil Serpent for 6? I don't even know if Tinker wins us the game, by the way. Like, if we Tinker, we can't really cast spells off it, and then we die. I don't know what wins us the game, but I don't think Tinker's it. Another Sphere. Good lord. And a mana crypt. We have a clock. We have a clock. We have a clock. It just has to beat Inventor's Fair, so. My god. We've drawn land every turn, which is probably a good thing considering my opponent has 3 spheres in play, but I don't think we have 3 shatter effects. We might not even have 3 shatter effects in our 75, even if we could wish for them. We do have Harkle's Recall out the sideboard, but uh-oh. That's a bad sign. Are we equipping? Are we going to town? We're going to town. That's unfortunate. That's 9 damage. I'm not going to cast a spell this game, am I? I guess that's not true. I'm not going to cast a non-Moxen spell this game, am I? Okay, well, I'm going to scare my opponent with a big Taparino and then concede. Wow. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow. Ooh. Okay. Well, the Mold of 4 did not work out. I will say that much. Let's get a Braid, Hole Breacher, Portal into my deck, Hercules into my deck. We didn't see a Patchwork, but there should be a Patchwork here. Yeah, Patches and Stone Coils and just your normal stuff. Okay, so let's bring a long goodbye in as well. And then I'm gonna cut Vexing Bauble, Fluster, Misstep, Probe, Brainstorm, Hexing Squelcher. Wonder if I could op agent my opponent. Probably not, but maybe. Shouldn't need a Squelcher though. Could be fun. I think I played Brainstorm instead of op agent in the last match. Kind of want to just play some more dudes. Let's do it. Dudes. That was sad, but we put up our, we put up an effort. We tried. We did our best. If we had played our 5-card hand, I'm not sure that would have went a lot better. And we had draws that would have made the game playable. Not many, but we did have them. What is a good deck to get into the format? MTGO only. There are 13 to 14 different vintage decks that are good decks to get into the format. You should play one that speaks to you and that you get a prior, you get a head start based on decks you've played in other formats. So if you tell chat what decks you like and have reps with in other formats, they will tell you a deck that can use some of those some of that knowledge to give you a head start. And hopefully find you a deck that you enjoy. Because having a deck you enjoy is a lot better than having a good deck, especially when all of the decks are good, in my opinion. Dismember? I don't think so. But you could bring in Dismember. Man, I hate this hand a lot. Underground, Sea, Vamp, Force, Citadel. I mean, this hand, I don't like this hand. I'm just gonna put this hand back. I don't think this hand does it. That hand's much better. I'm pretty sure I'm jamming directly into Mindbreak Trap. I don't have to, though. I could just stock up. Aggro combo stuff. I would say Raker Shops, then. Raker Shops is aggro and combo. It's kind of fun. It's a sweet one. I don't know, chat. Do you think I should not tinker on turn 1 here? Do you think I should instead, like, stock up? No, I'm just putting a Citadel in play. I don't think I'm playing around anything here. What is the number of Mindbreak Traps? They have 2 Mindbreak Traps in their board. Has the opponent been F6ing? We don't know because we didn't put any spells on the stack. I'm just going to tinker. If they have it, they have it. They're going to Mindbreak Trap my stock up too. They kept a no land stock up hand. I say they kept a no land Mindbreak Trap hand. All right, so we resolved our stock up. We still have an Urza Saga. We are going to have a sorcery in the yard, and we have a tapped blue-red land in our hand. I think I just like Underground Sea Demonic Tutor. I mean, if they have no lands, they have no lands, right? Mystic Forge. Doesn't exactly help you find lands. I wish I had that Abrade now, though. Though I think we're just gonna win with Volkey. This is the way it's gonna go. What do I want to do? I could just go demonic. I guess I could go like demonic chain the forge. But it's not that great of a play. They didn't activate, so that means they have a land on top. If I make a construct here, and then next turn I have 5 mana. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go Thundering Falls, make a construct. That is probably not a card I'm interested in. This line gets a little bit better if my opponent, also they kept Wasteland. So yeah, if my opponent has Wasteland, now I'm not DTing for like Time Vault or whatever. And now we still have Demonic Abrade instead of Chain. So like, I think this is better. I really like how this played out actually from my side. Even though I got my thing Mindbreak trapped. We still have a stock up here. What is this? Dismember? Oh, they're just full. I did do that to them, so. What a weird game. What a weird keep from my opponent as well. I don't think I'm supposed to abrade a Ruby, right? That feels like not enough mana to be worth abrading. Like if they had a workshop, doesn't really change things. Yeah, they kept a hand that was good against me jamming. I did mull to 4 in game 1, so. They hit the workshop. Crucible. We still haven't exactly won this game yet, but we're getting pretty close here with this Twister. This was a good draw, I think. It's fine. Null run. Sphere. I can still cast everything, so. This construct's about to be huge. This construct's about to be so big. 9/9 construct coming in. All right. Cool. That's a cool win. On the draw. On the draw. Just gonna run it back. I like what we're doing here. Okay. That hand is not playable on the draw. On the play, I would keep this hand. Just search a basic island. But I cannot keep this hand on the draw. Which is really sad. Really sad. I don't know if I actually do. I don't know if that's a true statement. I don't know. I don't know. Paper only island. Yeah, I think I'm going to be mulliganing this hand. I don't believe this is in your keepable range on the draw against Sphere Shops, especially on 7. They just have too many ways that make it so you can't make mana off of these Jets. Jet and Pearl and Moxen. Not within range. What up, Bluebo? I believe opponent is playing in the Modern Showcase, which is why we're going back and forth on holding out time. All right, they kept 7. We're going to mull. That is a good hand. I keep this hand, bottom of the time vault, take all of our mana. Opponent is on Spherical Shops. Very rotund. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. I mean, they're probably not going to null rod themselves now, so that's good for us. 6? God Pharaoh statue? Or is it just a Stone Coil Serpent? Ah, Lodestone Golem. Yeah, that's a good one. We play Lodestone and Sphere, like we just scoop it up. scoop it up. Unfortunately, our Time Twister looks awful. Oh my god. All right, well, sometimes you get vintaged, and there's not much you can do about it. This is only, like, one of their best possible draws in their entire deck, so... And then they null rotted. Oh... Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get vintaged. Technically, we have outs here. If we can hit an Abrade, we might be in a decent... Oh, no, Abrade doesn't do it. We don't really have outs here. Never mind. I think we're actually just dead. I guess a Chancellor is an out. Not Chancellor. What is the card called? Chain of Vapor. Chain of Vapor is an out. Bolas Citadel is notably not an out. Oh, God. Hercules costs 4 mana, so even Hercules is not really an out without an extra land drop here. No, we died. I mean, I'm not worried about this. This is getting vintage. This is unfortunate because in game 1, we had to mulligan to 4. We had no keepable hands. And then in game 3, my opponent kept the best possible start that their deck can do. So not much to say. Sometimes you take an L, and this is when you sometimes take an L. Just weren't getting out of this. Here we go, round 5 versus Zip Zip. Yesterday played Sphere Shops and is double queuing. Hopefully we can do better than we did against Eric. This hand has forces, but doesn't really have the mana to support this plan. And we can't really be playing Bobble here, so it's a mulligan for me. This hand's much better. This hand is much better. It's not great, though. It still kind of needs a Mox to really do what it wants to do. I kind of wonder how we're supposed to proceed with this hand, because I'm keeping... But I want all of these 3-drops, and I need mana. So maybe I'm supposed to brainstorm, but I can't really fathom brainstorming just naturally here. I guess I could just, like, lead Saga. I have to put a card back as well. So, like, I'm only ever putting back Brainstorm or Academy, right? This is not straightforward. I think I'm supposed to put back Brainstorm and play Saga Go. And make them have a Wasteland for it. Or put back Academy and play Saga Go and make them have a Wasteland for it. And if they do, then I can still Brainstorm and try to salvage this. It's so tough. I feel like we've had like very hard mulligan choices in some of these matches today. I haven't been thrilled. Because these are the cards I want. Like, these are the cards I want in the matchup. It's just, I don't really have the mana currently to support these cards. These cards really require Moxen, even against, like, decks that are not taxing my 3-drops. Like, you still kind of want Moxen so you're playing a turn 2 spell. And I could just play a Brainstorm. I could just throw a Brainstorm into the Abyss and see what happens. But it doesn't seem correct to do so. But I might just need to, right? I think I'm going to bottom the Academy, and I'm going to go Saga Go. I feel like that's my line. And that way, if I do get Wastelanded, I can... or even if I get Sphered, I can go fetch land and still cast a Brainstorm and try to, like, manipulate my way that way. If a Saga doesn't die and I cast Brainstorm, I can use the Saga to do a shuffle. So there's options there. The one thing this doesn't do is provide me with outlets to force my opponent's first spell, which is problematic, so don't know. But we do have at least a Saga, so but yeah, that's about all of the analysis I can do on this one. I'm gonna wait till my opponent shows up and restart the recording. All right, opponent has kept their 7, and I'm gonna do the play I said. I'm gonna bottom the Academy that currently makes no mana, and I'm gonna make it put it on my opponent to deal with this Saga. See what they got. They're gonna strip mine my Saga. Well, yep. And they have a Chrome Mox. Oh, mono white. That is... well, yeah, that's not good either. I'm gonna have to draw another way to fetch if I play this right away. No. All right, hold on. I mean, I'm gonna have to hit a fetch land though. Like, okay, I hit a fetch land, so I'm gonna hide the fetch land. I'm gonna go Citadel above fetch land. And they can probably name Tinker. And we could vamp for like a Lotus and Hullbreacher Twister if they don't have any kind of restrictive piece. I guess we can't really do that because... no, I guess we could do that. I assume they're just going to name Tinker, right? That was a good brainstorm. That was a great brainstorm. I cannot be mad about that brainstorm. I've had many a bad brainstorm in my day, but that was not one of them. They named Tinker. Makes sense. All right. Well, if my opponent plays an initiative creature here, we can vamp for Lotus and go Hullbreacher Twister. So I don't know that we win that game, but it's a thing we can do. All right. Looks like an initiative creature. Okay, here we go. Okay. I mean, we're gonna spin the wheel, chat. We are going to spin the wheel. They have a follow-up? Okay. Underground Sea. I mean, if they have a sword, that'd be sick. Black Lotus. All right, fresh 7 cards. That is a win right now, but I have to beat my own mana crypt, right? I have Vault. No, I can get Tinker, right? Oh, how much does Tinker cost? Maybe not. I have 9 mana. I have 7 mana. I have 6 mana, 5 mana, 4 mana. Tinker is too much. So if I don't do that, maybe I go Key. And I have 7 mana, 8 mana, 6 mana, 5 mana, 4 mana, 3 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana. That does it. Okay, cool. So I will go Hull Breacher, Twister, Time Vault, Bauble, Vampiric, Key, Brawl with Bauble, Key, win the game. And this is why we play 1 Hull Breacher, 1 Time Twister in our deck, chat. For any of the doubters, this is a prime example of what we wanted in our deck building. Man, I love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks I've created or helped create in all of my time playing Vintage. It's not my favorite of all time. I think my favorite of all time is probably that one Oath deck that I want to PTQ with, but yeah. I'm really, really proud of this one. It's like a bunch of little things that some people would be like, that doesn't even matter, but they all matter. Every single part of it matters. I will win this game. It's just going to take me a while. My opponent is probably playing their modern match, so they just want to let me use some clock and gain some time to finish their other match. So we will win this eventually. We just need a little bit more stiff. I have a Saga still in my deck. That's probably the cleanest. So why did I just do that? I don't know. Anyway, I die if I cast spells? Not really. DT Saga. I mean, there's probably a clean Yogwell kill as well, but I just don't feel like thinking about that, where Saga is going to be enough. What is this? It's just doing things. Oh, they're just trying to, so they can tap out and F6 or something. Um... Sometimes the yield until next upkeep doesn't work. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's because if you have to be tapped out or something. I'm not really sure. But either way, this is enough. I'm pretty sure my opponent's playing the other match, so All right, cool. That is a steal of a win. We mulliganed thinking we were facing Sphere Shops, ended up against Mono White, and put together a win. Really, really impressive. Very happy with that. Mono White is not a good matchup, by the way. I think Mono White is really, really bad matchup. It's one of our worst for sure. I like something like this. There are other options. For the most part, I don't really believe in Tinker Citadel in this matchup because they have far too many ways of stopping it. And even though we have things like Hexing Squelcher to beat Void Mirror, I think it's just more reliable to slam a Ferocious Phyrexia. You also don't want to be like on the hook for having to remove every single piece of their interaction. So I throw an extra Hull Breacher in, can attack, and you can Twister with it. But for the most part, we're just taking out dead spells, which is Bobble on the draw, and then all of the anti-blue cards, and then bringing in removal and a better Tinker target. So this matchup is not great. I don't have high expectations here, but we can always steal games with Tinker, so see what we can do. If we can win, we're going to put ourselves in a really nice spot, so I hope we can win this game. Or the next game, for that matter. What do we got? We've got... I think this is a keep. Seems fine. Chromox is allowed. I think we would have to negate a Void Mirror. Don't really want to negate this. Like, if it's a creature, I kind of want to cast Ancestral Recall. That's not good for us. Okay. This is not the end of the world. Gonna go basic island, Mox Ruby, hold open negation ancestral, though I don't know if I'm gonna be able to negate anything at this point. I just really didn't want to negate Chrome Mox when I have an ancestral, you know? One spell per turn from Archon. Yeah, I don't think this changes anything if I do anything in response. I might as well just see what I have. Yeah. So my opponent is in on that as their plan. What are we in on? I think we're in on dying, because I don't know that we're going to be able to cast any spells here. I'm going to cast Flow State. Okay, this works. We just need one more mana, though, somehow. It might just be too much, though. I don't... I mean, I guess we would negate a Void Mirror. So we can probably just get rid of this. I don't think we're currently dead. This Wasteland is a huge problem, though. A Tinker solves this problems at the moment, but I don't know that we have the time because we need to get a third mana somehow. And I feel like my opponent will Wasteland anything I do. I don't think the stock up's ever getting cast, so it's just a winnable game. I just need more lands off the top here. That's fine, I think. It's just not fine. I need... I'm just gonna get Wastelanded, though, and I think the Wastelands are too much, so I need to find... I could get Chain. But then how am I gonna win? We might have just enough time, right? We go to 8. This gets wastelanded. We go to Saga. We go to 3, and then I get it. So if they don't have another thing, I think we're just in time. Oh, does Dismember change everything? How does Dismember change things? I could Dismember the Archon and go to 3 and die. Okay, it doesn't change anything. Unless I were to Dismember the Clarion Conqueror, which would be very bad. So we just play Saga, we Mystical for Tinker, and we hope nothing else happens, and then we unlock the board. Oh, you're right. We would go to 4. I don't know that that's better, though. We go to 1. This puts me to 3. I think this is just better. We just need to dodge another Wasteland, right? Cavern is fine. We still need to win after portaling, though, which I'm not sure we're going to be able to do. But we'll give it a shot. Tinker, portal, open the board. Mox. I can't dismember, so I'll just play key. I can't really reanimate their creatures, and they get to play whatever creature they want. And I don't have black mana until I get Lotus. It's a May. It's not a May. I mean, Archon is fine, I guess. We can always block. We can reanimate Clarion Conqueror and then try to win after we lose it. We do have a Hexing Sculpture we can reanimate. That's true. We might just win then. Demonic Tutor. This doesn't do it, right? If we just get a Black Lotus, we Yogg-Will back Tinker and win. It's GG. Wow. We won this game, huh? Can I make a construct too? I think I can, right? What could we die to? We could get Mindbreak trapped if I do that. I guess we can get Mindbreak trapped. No, we can't get Mindbreak trapped if I just don't do that. Okay, so let's just do that then. Black Lotus. Yogg-Will. Tinker. Time Vault. Oh, I needed to tinker the stupid portal. Ah, I'm so bad, man. It's fine. I'll find my way out of it. I did need to tinker the portal because I'm going to reanimate the Conqueror eventually here. That's fine. I can do Mystical or something and we'll be okay. Yeah, I'll just do Mystical, Chain of Vapor, Ancestral, chain my portal, Saga, go to my next turn. This is fine. Sorry, I didn't think I was supposed to get rid of the portal, and then I realized I was absolutely supposed to get rid of the portal. It's such a weird interaction. Cool game, though. Wow. So sick. So sick. So sick. Our deck is so good. That's a tough matchup. That's a 2-0. I love that. All right, we're currently 5-1 or 4-1 in the 6th round Vintage Challenge. We have great breakers, but I'm gonna make him Archon battle here. We'll do our best. So we are playing here this round. This is a win and in to top 8. We will be maybe in a pretty decent spot if we miss on a loss here, but that's okay. We're gonna try and see. And I also want to play against some Esper Tinker. Because I think that's what Archon's on, the blue-white Tinker deck that I made prior to NYSE. That doesn't have any of the blue mirror breakers, but has kind of a better basic game plan against Fear Shops. So I am just going to go with Volk Pass, Upkeep Ancestral. Great start. Force. I'm going to force back. I want to hit some mana to get to my stock ups here. I don't really want to be Loriening, so seems like a pretty decent time to push through my Ancestral. I did not hit any mana, and now I don't even have a 3rd mana. I also drew a Citadel, so not great. Not my best start. That's okay, we'll get there. There's a Lorien anyways, so just one turn until we start stocking up. I did draw another force, so we have an option if my opponent jams something here. Balance. Balance takes 3 cards out of my hand. Citadel, stock up. Leaving me with Citadel, stock up, leaving me with Lorien Force land, where I go and I get a land and I stock up. Or I can just force this pitching stock up, and I'll have 1 extra stock up, but won't have a force. It's actually quite good right now. I feel like I would rather have a force at the end of all of this. But I don't know that I want to lose out on 2 stock ups. That's a really hard choice. I don't know. I really need to just hit a Mox that turn so I could play a stock up, and this would be an easy force, and I would continue on. I'm gonna force this. If they have force backup, it's super bad for me. But I didn't expect them to. I think saving a stock up is worth it. And we'll find out if that's correct in the next couple turns here. Saga Gaming. That'll help us hardcast this Citadel in a couple turns. Kind of want to find another force off of this stock up, though. Found a negation. Also found Flow State Ruby, which seem good. I'm just going to get the Flow State here. All right, I think we're in a good spot. That's exactly what we wanted to see from our stock up. We're probably not even going to make constructs because they don't really matter in this kind of game. These kind of games are all about combo killing. 3 cards from my opponent's hand. If my opponent plays a stock up here, I will... I'm not doing anything to a mentor. That's kind of awkward, actually. We'll see how that plays out. Because I don't think I am interested in making a construct, so I think I'm just going to cast 2 flow states. Actually, means I tapped completely incorrectly here. And I should have just... Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. I think I like Emerald Fluster. And then 1 more flow state. And next turn I'll go for Citadel, and hopefully I have a lot of life to work with. We'll see. Mental Misstep, Academy Lorien. I think this is just take all of these pieces of interaction and ways to shuffle on my Citadel, and then go into next turn with the best possible Citadel and a chance to win the game. Yeah, that is mental misstep, down to 14, down to 13. Okay. 13 feels like enough. Can I make a construct here? No. Okay. I mean, we could die if I don't hit well on this. I don't have to go this way. I'm just going to, though. We have so much, though. We have a land drop, a Lorien, a stock up, a probe. Like, can we really miss from this spot? 13 life? It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, because I didn't have to take this route. There was no real reason I had to take this route. I could have gone construct, you know? But we'll see what happens. This was my gut instinct, and I kind of wanted to play it through. Hard cast negation from my opponent. That makes sense. All right, so my opponent has 5 power in play, and if they draw a spell, they will have 8 power. Land drop, mana crypt, land drop, stock up. That's kind of scary. Time Vault Force. Does that win? It's pretty damn close. This is 3 life. Tinker is 6 life. I go to 7 and I have a key. I can just Yogg. Can I win if I just Yogg? Yogg gives me a Lotus to work with, another Vamp. That might just give me enough mana. Let's do the math again, though. Vamp puts me to 10. Yogg puts me to 7. Lotus comes into play. I have 4 mana. I Vamp down to 3 mana and down to 5 for a Tinker. I think I have just enough. I'm going to do one more set of math. I'm casting a Vamp to 10, a Yogg-Will to 7, a Vamp to 5, and a Tinker to 2. No life problems. If I go Vamp, Yogg puts me to 4 mana, puts me to 3 mana after I Vamp, and I'll have 3 mana to cast Time Vault and activate. Yeah, this is deterministic. So Yogg-Will. Oh, I just put Tinker on the top. Okay, that works too. Okay. Got him. Not bad. Kind of a cool game. Obviously, we had a huge advantage with the Ancestral opener, but we had to make some choices towards the back half. Let me go look at my own list here, because Archon is playing my my blue-white Tinker deck. Probably not exactly the same as this, but probably similar. So we're looking at Tezzerets, Lusters, Commandeers are definitely possible. Not really good cards versus us in the mirror. There's a Needle and some portable holes to be worried about, but in general, we have a bit more going on here than our opponent. The Breacher doesn't look amazing versus our opponent. They don't really have draw spells. So I will probably keep in one Breacher, one Twister. I will bring in Pyroblast. I will bring in Op Agent and maybe a Long Goodbye. Wait, it's just Mentor, so probably not a Long Goodbye. That's not what I was looking for. Where did my thing go? No, not a Long Goodbye. Long Goodbye doesn't kill Planeswalkers, right? Oh, it does kill Planeswalkers. How would we have killed there if they don't concede? I don't know, like Breacher, Twister, Constructs or something? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Like a Braid. I don't know that I like Long Goodbye, even though it kills Mentor and Tezzeret. But I definitely don't need Island. I don't need Lorien. I don't need Mystical. I don't really need Chain. It only hits Karn, really. I don't really need Probe. So I could go like this. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. Okay. This is not the best hand by any means. But I also am not sure this is a hand I'm willing to mulligan. I want to keep this hand. It can lose to a bunch of really powerful starting draws, but it has some really nice game against a large swath of keepable hands from the opponent that are looking to flow state or stock up. I really don't mind. We'll see how many mocks my opponent play. It's a Soul Ring. It's not the end of the world either. Oh, just... Really? I could have negation. Alright. Just resolved and such. I mean, it was resolving on my upkeep as well, so it's not like it wasn't resolving, but this does let them draw into Moxen, so... Drew the whole Breacher right after. I'm actually just gonna fetch this now. So I don't get caught in a bad spot. Maybe gives away something here, but I think that's fine. Yeah, flow state is what makes these decks playable again, in my opinion. I mean, they were playable before, but they certainly get a lot better with flow state. I'm just gonna Pyroblast this. Feels like a reasonable spell to hit. Tundra Soul Ring, it's fine. Mox is a great draw. Unfortunately, my opponent played Ancestral and Brainstorm. They're two draw spells before my Hull Breacher was online. Not a fan of that. Still 6 cards in my opponent's hand. Karn. Alright. I think this is bad, but... That is one Mirror Breaker I don't have in my deck. You have a Swords? They have to keep in Swords, I think, to beat Hexing Squelcher, so... We do have land drops. They make constructs, and it seems like a pretty good spot to be if I can hit a land drop here. But if I don't hit a land drop here, we probably just lose on the spot, so... They can probably get a Needle if they didn't bring it in. They'll probably... Oh, they brought Tormod's Crypt. That's interesting. Stop a flow state, maybe. Land? Ruby. Unfortunate. Is there any value in abrading the Soul Ring to take them off of 3 mana? Doesn't really feel like there is. I think I'd rather hit a land to try to make a construct. Yeah, I mean, this is 2 games of one player had Ancestral. I mean, I think it's Underground Sea, so... This is our way out. There's no lattice. I know my opponent's deck. They're on my deck. At some point in Vintage, all decks will be my deck, and I'll know everything. I think we're real dead. I think we're super dead. But we're doing our best. What more can you ask? What are they going to get? They got a Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah. Makes sense. Pretty free. Do I start feeding in bad decks? I kind of did. Like, my opponent's deck is kind of my bad deck. Like, this is the deck I played before, before NYSE, where I wanted to play Tinker reps, but I didn't want to show anyone that Hexing Squelcher and Hull Breacher exist. So it kind of is, It kind of is my bad deck. Though Arkan played the good deck, didn't like it, and went back to the bad deck, so. It looks like they boarded in the needle, or they would have gotten the needle, so I get to make a construct here. And I'm pretty happy about it. I can't get a bauble because I do have a force. I also can't cast any spell. I guess some like spells in my hand, so I will get something that doesn't die. I think I'll get a key. In case I end up with a Volt key here. I mean, this is a winnable game. My opponent has that 2 cards. This card doesn't actually do anything. There's not a ton of ways to protect the card in the deck. There are some amount of swords. Maybe there are some portable holes. They drew their own saga. That's pretty good. They drew their own saga. That's pretty good. Another Lorien. All right, they have 1 spell left. I forced this. Surely at some point they're supposed to crack Lantern, right? Try to find Fluster or something. Ah, animate Lantern to save Karn for a turn. Nice play. I'm going to kill Karn. Obviously, they draw a card off of this, but I think it's worth it to kill Karn, right? Not gonna be able to kill Karn. I guess I could be able to kill Karn next turn if I just abrade the creature, but I feel like unblocking my things now is better. This is like a big reason why I don't like Karn. It's like really easy to kill Karn in a lot of decks. My deck, to be fair, not easy to kill Karn. But like Raker Shops, like crushes Karn. Just kills it with creatures. All right, I have nothing left. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. They've got a Saga. I have Unblockable Key, but it's not that good here. I have outs like Time Vault off the top, uncounterable, but they have Tinker. It's pretty bad for me. It's pretty bad for me. Yep. Rip the portable hole. Unsquelcher. I think we're dead, but this game was always going to be hard with all the ancestral recalls happening here. Yeah. Looks dead. I don't know. I don't really dislike my hand's keep still. I think it's good against a large swath. It just wasn't very good against turn 1 ancestral. And we almost battled through. I guess, to be fair, I guess I could have held my abrade, and then I could have abraded the Citadel. Not that that would be a high chance of winning anyways. They also have stuff like the Citadel dies, and they just Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, I guess they can't Soul Guide Lantern it back, because they can only exile opponent's graveyard. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a very feasible way to approach the game. I have certainly been bested here. Vamp would have been too slow. Run it back. I have a bunch of abrades that kill Portable Hole, which is really nice as well. Could bring in a Hercules Recall. Bounce Portable Holes and Tinkers and stuff. It's an interesting idea. I don't think so. I think we're just already favored. Let's just play our concrete game plan, put up a good fight, and see how it goes. Yep. Just going to go with the Hull Breacher on their upkeep. I'm not going to try to get fancy with this. Just forcing it. Seems like a fine outcome for us. They had a probe in their hand that would have been turned off. Ancestral Recall. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, my opponent is too strong. But I mean, that's what these Tinker Mirrors come down to. That's why I was always like, in the last 4 years, I've been happy that Luris exists, because Tinker Mirrors are just abysmal. They are just not a good time. And it's still true. My opponent had a free force here, or threw a force down and still crushed the crap out of me. What am I gonna do? Yeah, we're super dead here. Luris just makes for a lot more even-keeled matches of Magic, so... that was not the draw we were looking for, sadly. Oh, well, if they didn't hit anything, we can at least abrade this, but... This deck stopped being played because it doesn't beat Luris. Without Flow State, without Hexing Sculpture, you just straight up don't beat Luris, so... You can't beat Frog, you can't beat PO, you can't beat any of those decks. Brutal. All right, welcome to a top 8 with our secret NYSE Grixis Tinker deck. We're on the draw rematch versus our Raker opponent from earlier in the tournament. This is our top 8 bracket here. And I have, of course, a Tinker with no mana. I'm going to mull. That is a hand I am absolutely willing to keep against Raker. But what am I mulliganing? I guess I am kind of priced into... Not really priced into negation, but I kind of am, because if my opponent has Tezzeret Bauble, I lose. I don't want to get rid of either Volt or key, Vamp or Key if I could help it. But I don't know that I can help it. I don't think I can get rid of Mox. It leaves me with very little going on. But if we rip a bunch of lands, getting rid of Mox is certainly the best, because it lets us go for a combo after. But if I just get rid of Key, then I'm getting pretty close to twistering my opponent, right? I think I'm just going to get rid of Key and keep the higher power card. So I'm going to do that and see how this goes. There are a bunch of hands that this hand is very good against, and there are a bunch of hands that this hand is not very good against. Please play a ring. Just play a ring for me, man. At least I played around this. I did in fact play around this. Watch him like slam a 3-ball on me. Sensei stop. Spin top. All right. I think we can hold open Breacher here. Immediate draw. For a mana ball. Please don't play a Tezzeret after that. Oh, that's worse. That's even worse for me. Yep. All right, well. I'm gonna have to hope my opponent does do a draw spell because I need the mana colors. I need the mana colors real bad. I need help, and Hexing Sculpture was not the help I was looking for. Oh, I just clicked through it. Sorry, chat. I fucked up. There's just too many triggers, and I just clicked through it reactively. The good news is we have Scrawling Crawler to help us out. The bad news is I'm bad at the game. Just like too many triggers, man. It's fine. All right, hold Breacher. That's not bad. Unfortunately, we can't wheel, though. Man, this Scrawling Crawler is still annoying because there's so much damage. I wish I had Key. Can I keep Ancestral? I feel like I can't keep Ancestral because it costs too much life. Because I'm taking too much damage. It can make colors of mana, but is that really what we want to draw? I guess maybe with Vamp it is. I don't know. It's certainly an option, right? I don't think I'm going to win this game. I don't know that my misclick matters, but it might matter. We'll see. So my opponent doesn't draw a card. I get a treasure and a card. I love Scrawling Crawler, but I just don't think I have enough life to work with because of this Fresh Raker. I also gave them an extra damage here. Oh, I am so dead. This is just like the perfect draw against what I had. Like I really needed my opponent to have a ring draw for my Hold Breacher, not a double Flesh Raker draw. Yeah, I'm glad. I don't know. I don't even have enough life. I'm gonna die. I don't even have enough to vamp. Okay. Well, my opponent had straight up nuts here. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think my misclick mattered. I don't think my misclick mattered. What a crazy hand this is. All right. Well, same thing as last time. A Braid, Portal, Hull Breacher, Hercules, and Long Goodbye come in. I think it's actually, I don't know. It's slightly comforting to me that my misclick didn't matter, so. Can't take out the extra mana here because our opponent is on Wastelands. Could take out a Brainstorm. I kind of think you're supposed to take out one Hexing Squelcher on the play because it's less necessary. Yeah, but like the problem is, Ape, that I just have no ability to put together any kind of reasonable play. And I think it would have ended up them not drawing an extra card because, or like ended them not getting an extra treasure because the crawler might be down one turn earlier or whatever. So I just like don't have like reasonable outs from a spot where my opponent is playing multiple Flesh Rakers and I don't have them countered. So I'm gonna go with this and let's see if we can find something powerful to attack our opponent with here. That is, God, I don't know that is good, but we are going to try. We are going to try. Think I am supposed to pass from this spot. They kept 7 again. Soul Ring. 1 ring, maybe? Chat. Flash Raker. I think the Raker deck is so strong when it does draw Raker. Chalice on 0. That card is real good. Yeah. I mean, what's a guy to do? I got good cards to draw too. This guy. All right, how about a key? I think I deserve a key here. Please stop wastelanding me. Did you a ring? Forge. Whatever. Some of these games today have been brutal. What are they keeping on top and not using? A ring? Please just give me a key. Must be a ring, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. Cast no stock ups in this game. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess it's better to counter this because I can never cast these spells anyways, so. Yeah, it was a ring. I mean, all they need is one key, one top and we die, so. I'm supposed to keep my all mana hand, right? Because I have 4 flow states, 4 stock ups, DT, time, Tinker, everything, right? Like I'm supposed to keep these all mana hands. I had 2 forces. I think it's fine. It just didn't work out. This is Tezzeret untap. New 1 ring. Redraw. I mean, we faded a turn, but I don't know that that matters very much. Key? I got nothing going on for me here. This is a really disappointing top 8 match, but sometimes it goes like that. Kind of a sad way to end the tournament, too. Like, just a bunch of losses in a row. Sure. Whatever you do. Whatever, man. Whatever. This matchup is so good, and it just did not matter. If I had to pick one deck to play against, I think it's Raker, so... Well, either way. Weird Edge. That was Matt. Those games were not close. Obviously, I fucked up in game 1. I had the ability to play a Hold Breacher slightly earlier. I mean, there's a world where that's enough, buys me enough time to maybe do something. But in general, it didn't even look like I was winning that game with a Hold Breacher. So, like I said, I don't think I was supposed to mulligan that hand. And I'm down to play that matchup as much as possible, so... I will say that I'd probably make a slight change if I was to run this back again on Magic Online. I would probably put the Squelcher in the board and put a Hercules in the main. And then I would just cut the stupid Jailer and just play Ley Lines as the only thing for Dredge. I feel like just like trying to play a bunch of Dredge Hate is silly when you need to make other matchups that are actually or like other matchups better. So I might try something like this for Magic Online if I were to go at it again. It will definitely depend on like what decks show up in the metagame report, because we know that there's at least 2 Sphere Shops in the top 8, 2 Tinker in the top 8, a Raker, and 3 other ones. And then when you start going down, you have some Jewel, Blue-Black, Sphere Shops, Doomsday, Breach, Jewel. So it'll be interesting to see what other decks appear in the metagame share. I don't know how many more times we're going to be able to play this deck because the Fantastic card does go on Magic Online maybe this week, not next weekend, but the weekend after. I think that is true. I'm not exactly sure which time it goes on Magic Online, so I do know that we have an upcoming Vintage RCQ on Moto on the 21st, which is a Sunday. And I know that the release date of Fantastic Car is the 26th in paper, which I assume is the same date it goes on Magic Online. So the 21st RCQ will still be the old format. So we will probably play Grixis Tinker. Do you think it's the 23rd or do you think it's the 16th? I don't know the answer. If it's the 16th, then we might have a vintage RCQ where everyone is going vroom vroom, which I'll either have to play Raker Shops or make a bug vigor deck that is good against it. It's after. Okay, cool. So then that means we have a week of practice here where we try to make this Grixis Tinker deck the best it can possibly be online and play it in the RCQ on the 21st. So that's the plan. I think this deck is really strong, though, you know, like we talked about earlier, if everyone is playing the Sphere Shops deck, then playing a blue-white Tinker deck like the one I created pre-NYC might make more sense. It just really depends on like what you're going to log in against. If you're going to log in against blue decks, you want to be playing Hexing Squelcher. So, and also like Archon hasn't adapted the Hull Breachers yet, but you can play the blue-white Tinker deck with Hull Breachers in it. Play one Hull Breacher, play one Twister, play some Hull Breachers in the board. That will shore up your Raker and Jewel matchups as blue-white. So there's some options there. If you don't think you need to be blue, then I think you don't have to be in red. The red cards are mostly for Hexing Squelcher, Pyroblast. The Abrade is just like the best possible removal we can choose. But if you're like in white, you have obviously much more options in terms of removal. Because this deck is almost mono blue. Like it's mono blue with the ability to splash in these 3 broken black cards. So interesting things to think about. Sorry about the sad, salty Justin in the top 8, but we didn't really get a lot of opportunity to play, and obviously the misclick was unfortunate. But there was a pretty good stream all in total, and lots of good examples of why the deck was built this way, with Squelcher soloing Doomsday, and a variety of different Hull Breacher Twister happenings. I think it was a really good... I've been trying to get a good example stream recording of this deck, and this one is probably the closest one we've gotten yet. So, hope you enjoyed this vintage content. More vintage videos on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.